to another edition of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. Hope you had a great holiday. We're in the midst of basketball season here on ProV Networks. Make sure you go to ProVNetworks.com. Check out our basketball coverage, Metro Tournament, and then, of course, District Play right around the corner. But I wanted to backtrack a little bit to a sport that just wrapped up, and that is soccer. And I have I'm pretty excited about today. We have a special guest from Albuquerque Academy, Luke Babinski, and his sister Anna. Welcome to the show. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Thank you so much for having us.
Let's start with the elephant in the room, Luke. How hard is it to be Anna Babinski's brother?
It's pretty hard. A lot to live up to. A lot of goals that she scored. So next year, I'll just have to score that many too.
Right. And has that always kind of been a rivalry? Talk about that.
Yeah, we would always play each other on our old club teams, and he would always win, of course, but it was a really good competition. We would just try to push each other to get better.
Yeah, but I don't really care about soccer. Like, what's it like at the house, Luke? Like, what do you guys just compete about everything, or what's that like? Tell me
Pretty
about that.
much, yeah. We compete about almost everything.
All right, best story there. There's got to be a best story. You go first, Luke.
I think one of the better things that happens is competing for who is the favorite child of the family,
all right.
and who like which favorite child they think likes, like the parents think that they like more.
So who is the favorite child?
I'd say she is.
Okay. All right. What's your best story of that competition?
He's definitely the favorite child.
Is he?
Yes. My parents like to give him everything.
Okay. All right. So a little spoiled, maybe. All right. So tell us what else? I mean, can you think of a memory of you guys just being ultra competitive? Something else other than soccer? I'm just curious.
We always have like family game nights, and we get really competitive. So whoever's like losing is kind of like not in a great mood, and so we're super competitive with those.
Okay, what kind of games are we talking here?
Yeah, Monopoly.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So everything is a competition there, pretty much.
Yes.
What about what about grades? You guys compete there too, right?
Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
All right,
Definitely.
so that keeps you guys motivated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not only is it sports, right? Obviously, you talked about the pressures of being the brother, right? But you had a nice season yourself. And I mean, and you have the rings to prove it, right? So I'm sure you rubbed that in a little bit, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So he's got that one, right?
That's very true.
Okay, where did all this athleticism come from? Tell me about just your parents and your upbringing.
Well, my mom, she was a 3 varsity athlete in high school, and also the captain of all 3. She didn't play in college, but she said she definitely could have. My dad's just always been like athletic. He didn't really play any sports, but he's just like super fit in general.
Right. So, Luke, when you're like, if your egos ever get a little too high, does your mom ever say like, "Hey, I played all 3 sports"? Like, does she put you guys in check sometimes?
Yeah, she's like, "You only play 1 varsity sport." I let her in 3, so.
That's gotta be tough, right? But what 3 sports did she let her in?
I think it's volleyball, basketball, and soccer.
Okay, so she's competitive as well.
Yes, very.
Competitive.
So, is there other siblings or family members in this equation that are equally competitive?
We have an older brother, but he's like a lot older than us, so we never really like could compete with him. And then we have our younger brother, who's a 7th grader at Academy, and we hope that he's going to be like us when he's in high school.
Right, and I'm sure your coaches are crossing their fingers
Yes.
as well. All right, I want to go back to this season. Luke, let's start with you guys. You're coming off a state championship already, right? And I know at Academy, boys soccer, that is like the athletic program on campus, I'm assuming, right? So what the expectations always high, right, with Coach Kolick. Talk about that.
Yeah, the entire, like, I don't know how to describe it, but like the atmosphere was really like up there, and you could not, like, the entire thing was like at your limit, and you had to just perform, otherwise you'd get benched.
That's a program, it's such a high performing program there at Academy. Pretty much if you're on a team in your 4-year span that doesn't win one, you kind of stand out, right? Because they win so often. Talk about that.
Well, she always talks about how she has a lot of like alumni that are just so great, and that we have to live up to their expectations, and how that being in a winning program like ours, that you just have so much to live up to, so we have to like live up to it.
What about, do you ever have time to just go watch Luke play or just go support Luke? What's that like, just as a sister?
It's really cool to watch him play. I just remember the first night game that Academy's ever had was the boys soccer game, and my whole friend group came out, and I just remember Luke scored, I think, 3 goals that game, and we were just like chanting his name, and it was just like so cool to hear like everyone like supporting my brother.
Right. Here's the question that I've been thinking about all day. Has there ever been a game day where you guys both had a game where you scored a goal and Anna didn't?
I can't remember.
All the way back to the smallest days, right? Can you ever remember a day?
Yeah, there's been days like that.
Okay. So those are the days you gotta love those days, right? Talk about that.
Well, it's just feeling like you're on top because you scored and you have so much to you can like brag about that you scored that day, I guess.
What about, I mean, you guys got off to a nice start to your season as well, right? So talk about expectations for your squad kind of at the beginning of the season. Did you know you had a special group there? I mean, what was the mindset of the team early?
Well, from last year, we kind of had a rough start. I didn't get to play that much because I had club. But when I came in and I started practicing with them for preseason, I was like, oh wow, like we could really go far with this group, and we just all had like a really strong connection. And so I just hoped that like we would all live up to that expectation and we would just bond, and I think we really did.
I mean, is it safe to say that soccer is the sport at Academy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it moves the needle the most, right? I mean, the football team's done a nice job, but, I mean, soccer seems like it's always been a huge deal. They're highly competitive. I mean, how many kids are coming out in your programs at the beginning of the year?
Probably around close to like 80 to 100-ish.
Okay.
Usually.
What about on the girls' side?
Not that much. We have like 45 to 50 girls, but all the girls are really, really talented.
Right. I want to take our first time out here. As we go to break, we're going to take a look at some highlights, first of Anna, and we'll take a look at those highlights. We'll let you look at those, and then we'll come back with Luke and Anna right after this timeout.
And here's a forward shot, Babinski. There's the shot, and goal! The first one of the game. About 1841, and that big pass in there.
Babinski will reflect that one off. It's a one-on-one. Babinski sets up the shot, and this one's tied. Anna Babinski. Here's Babinski again, one-on-one, takes the shot and buries it. Babinski with her second of the day. There's Layla Logan up to Babinski. Now Babinski's got a one-on-one with Roden, and she's got the hat trick. Babinski, another 3-ball game.
Oh, Babinski, here we go. The breakaway. One-on-one with the keeper. The keeper comes out. She slides it by Goal Academy. Anna Babinski with the breakaway. Speed. She takes it back, cuts it back to the middle. She waits. Weiss is deflected, still on ball. Goal! Albuquerque Academy. Played it back in Babinski. Oh, here goes the through ball again. Keeper comes out. Oh, and she gets it, and Babinski again, wide open goal. Albuquerque Academy, Babinski with goal number 2. But no one's there. Cleared up Weiss. Gets by Moore, tried to get it. Here comes Babinski. She's got some space. Moore's going to run her down from behind. Can she catch her? Babinski comes out, sides it around, goal! Albuquerque Academy, the hat trick.
When looking for the best experience while buying an all-new Kia, Fiesta Kia offers some of the most knowledgeable and friendly Kia specialists in New Mexico. They'll help you find the Kia that will meet all your expectations. Kias have some of the most affordable vehicles for you to choose from, offering extensive options and style for the price. And with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, Kia won't be beat. Come be a part of the Fiesta family today, 7400 Lomas Boulevard Northeast, or start driving now at fiestakia.com.
I'm Terry Wilson, quarterback for your New Mexico Lobos. Growing up in Oklahoma City, my Boys and Girls Club was a safe place where I would go to play sports, practice important values like respect and integrity, and of course, always do my homework. Here in New Mexico, the Boys and Girls Club is having a huge impact on kids and teens every day after school. All you Lobo fans out there, support the Boys and Girls Club and help our young people learn and grow. Great futures start here.
Back with Anna and Luke Babinski. As we were watching those highlights, the first thing that came to mind is, what was that Volcano keeper thinking on that goal kick?
Yes, I have no idea.
Was that one of your easier ones this year?
Yes, definitely.
All right, so just to inform our audience, 21 games played this season, 52 goals, including a streak of 7 hat tricks in a row, 12 total hat tricks, 3 times All-State, 3 times All-Metro. Oh, by the way, you have your senior year to look forward to.
Yes.
So, I mean, what's left to accomplish at this point? Obviously, the big one is a team title, right? But, I mean, what are your goals going into your senior season?
I think definitely a big goal that I have is to score 100 goals total. I think I'm at like 75 right now. And so I think it's definitely an achievable goal, but that would be a very big accomplishment, I think.
Luke, do you ever just kind of, when you see these kind of stats, does it just blow the mind?
Yeah, I just like want to put them up myself, but like I just waiting for next season.
Right. I mean, and we'll get to your season, and you put a nice season together. But I mean, just the math behind 21 games, 52 goals, it's pretty crazy to think about, right? The big question, obviously, is what's next, right? So we're going to get to that a little later as well. I mean, I'm sure everyone is already thinking, where's Anna going to play? So we definitely want to get to that. Luke, I want to talk about your season a little bit. 19 games, 11 goals, 5 assists on a very, very good state championship team. I mean, that is the goal, right? It's you got to win a state title or it's not a good season there at Academy, right? So just talk about the chemistry you guys had, and I mean, talk about just the squad this year.
I think our team had great chemistry this year. We really like clicked. Like in the beginning of the year, it was a bit rough. We went through some like rough patches, but throughout the season, we really bonded together and came out with the state title.
And I know you got to be licking your chops as a sophomore to know that Zapotka's graduated, Oliver's graduating, right? So that's I mean, what's in your head now heading into your junior year, knowing that that's 40 goals right there that's graduating. If I think that's the right number. It's a lot of scoring that's graduating, right? So what's your goals going into next year?
Well, my goals is just to live up to like the expectations and like the fit their roles and stuff, live up to what they did, and just play my own game and win another championship.
I want to talk about culture a little bit. I love talking to kids from really successful programs about the culture. So what is the culture that your coaches have put in that allow you guys to be so successful, that pretty much allows the teams to just reload every year? Anna, let's start with you.
Well, I just remember my freshman season, we like had a ton of seniors, and when they left, it was pretty difficult my sophomore season, but I think just one of the big things is when we do team bonding, that everybody just gets along so well. And I think that with our new coach, Drew, he really just like helped that. And we like went on a team hike at the beginning of the season, and all the girls just started to get along and everything just started to click. And once that happens, I feel like we could just push each other and practice more, and there was no like tension between anyone.
Luke, what about you? I mean, I think people just assume that Lainey rolls the balls out and you guys are going to win a state title. Obviously, that's not how it works, right? So talk about the culture that she has in place.
Well, usually we start off pretty like heavily in preseason, getting like our fitness down and stuff. I think the culture is like, we have like, it's really hardworking. You have to be really hardworking, be on the top of your game, and you can't like, it's not all about skill, it's also about like mentality. Right. And that's a big part of her, of what she likes.
I mean, how has she helped you grow as a player, as a young player? I mean, was it hard at times at the beginning where you're like, man, she's intense?
Yeah, especially my freshman year. It was really hard like playing with all the older kids and having a coach that's super intense and that doesn't expect you to like mess up at all. So it's challenging.
Has there been times, Anna, where Luke's come to you for guidance, since you were not only a year ahead of him, but the 52 goal thing, right? Like, has he ever leaned on you kind of for soccer guidance?
Not really. We kind of just like...
Well, you're really dropping the ball on that one, Luke.
We kind of congratulate each other if we like do things well, but I don't feel like we like try to criticize each other that much.
Right, okay. So, I mean, but that's definitely a support system you guys have in each other, right? Let's talk rivalries, okay? You guys have started a nice little rivalry in the state tournament against Lovington, but that's obviously in the tournament, right? I mean, who's your rivals in town that you really get up for?
Definitely Pius. Pius is a major one. Those games are always so intense and stuff.
And that goes back, because I can remember doing some of their games in the past, Academy Pius games. Like those games are very physical usually. Those Pius guys they're a little cocky usually, and so it tends to get physical. Talk about that.
Well, I would say they're definitely really skilled, and just having such heart that both of our teams have such heart that it's just like they want to win so bad that it just can get out of hand a little bit. But overall,
but everyone plays club together now anyway, right? So
Yeah.
are there any real rivalries left since everyone's just friends and plays club together?
I feel like since they play club together, they want to win it even more. So it just makes it a lot harder.
What about on the girls' side? What's the rivalry there for you guys?
It's always been Pius for sure, just because like there's just always that tension. But I think that honestly, Hope is the huge rival for us now.
Right.
But I love all the girls on Hope and like competing with them.
See, that doesn't work for me. I want my rivalries to be.
That's why Pius.
Right,
Is always
like,
a
I
big
want
one.
my rivalries to be like you don't like them, right? And you come on my show to talk some smack, and that's what I want a rivalry to be. But I mean, where did these rivalries become so friendly? Is it because of club?
Yeah, honestly, like I have a lot of club teammates on Hope, so.
Right. See, that's disappointing. I like my rivalries to be real anger rival, right? Like that's, well, you know, they just don't make rivalries like they used to, right? But I mean, those are the games that you guys really get up for, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, what's the vibe like on campus during a Pius week? Since you guys both said Pius, okay? So, you know, I've asked this of football players, of basketball players. What's the vibe like on campus the week you guys are playing Pius? Is it at least that week you guys are a little unfriendly? Or is it just friendly the whole time?
I'd say it's pretty unfriendly.
Okay,
like,
see, that's what I want to hear. All right, tell me about that.
You have like people coming up to you saying like you gotta beat them,
right?
You gotta win and stuff like that.
What is Pius week like on the girls' side?
It's the same. Pius is more of our like rival. We don't really like those girls,
Okay,
but like
all right.
we always want to like win and show up, especially because it's usually our homecoming game.
Okay, so what are your best memories right now of rivalry weeks?
I don't know. We haven't really had like a week against Pius until this year for football season. So hopefully we like make it next year for like soccer season. But definitely my best memory against Pius is like scoring the game-winning goal, homecoming, my freshman year, double overtime.
Right, that's huge. What about you on the field against Pius? What's the memory that sticks out so far?
I'm not really sure, but I think it was in the state tournament coming in one of it was either like the semifinal or quarterfinal, where we were just at home and it was just such a big crowd from Pius. And it was just really intense.
I think I did that game. That was this year, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, yeah. And you know what I noticed about that game, and I think I even mentioned it on the broadcast, is it wasn't as physical as other Pius Academy games that I've done. Mm-hmm. And I wondered if that was because there were so many young players on the team and they weren't quite used to that rivalry yet. I mean, what was your take on it from participating in it?
I would definitely say like the younger players didn't like.
Because I remember Pius Academy games being borderline dirty. Mm-hmm. From years past. And I noticed that one was probably the friendliest Academy Pius game I'd ever seen.
I don't really have an explanation for that.
Right.
I'd say like the younger, including myself.
Well, you got 2 more years to ratchet it up a little bit, right? All right, we're going to take another timeout. Let's take a look at some of Luke's highlights here as we go to break. And we'll be right back.
He'll feed this in. Zabatka's going to be going for it, but it's Douglas Scott who gets it. It's stolen through. Babinski, the first dodge. Second one in. There's Weber out to Babinski. Ross calling for the through ball. Instead, it's Zabatka for another goal. Here's Size. Here's Babinski. He curls around Lee and gets another one. Babinski, I believe that's his hat trick. We're fed back in. Here's Bruce. Bruce has it stolen away. Can Babinski get it? He does!
Good ball ahead to Babinski. He's got a lot of space on the right side. Babinski. Devaney almost took it away. Babinski with some fancy dribbling. There's 4 white shirts back, but Babinski's still over the ball. Out wide.
Loves to dribble. He'll be working against Saucedo, and he goes down. The referee says it's all clean. Babinski, shot off and good! Luke Babinski! And Academy takes a 2-goal lead.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
When looking for the best experience while buying an all-new Kia, Fiesta Kia offers some of the most knowledgeable and friendly Kia specialists in New Mexico.
Goals we saw in that highlight package was your goal in the state championship. That was the second goal against Lovington there. What was going through your mind when you saw that one hit the back of the net?
I was just so happy. It was such a big game that we needed to put another goal in, and it ended up helping us because they tied up the game later on, which was not ideal.
I want to thank Aaron Rivera for putting those together. He's one of our directors here, and he called a lot of those soccer games as well. So if you noticed that Aaron was more excited during some of Anna's hat tricks, his office is right down the hall. So just so you know. But I want to thank Aaron for putting that together. So, state championship goal, obviously that's the goal next year, right, is to get right back to that game, right? But let's talk about post-high school. Start with you, Anna. I mean, that's obviously what everyone's talking about was where are you going to play college soccer?
Yeah, I definitely want to play college. I'm hoping to go D1. I'm talking to a few college coaches. California, CU Boulder's one of my top choices, Pitt for sure. But I just want to play at the next level because soccer just helps me keep my life together.
Right. Luke, what about you? I mean, where's soccer in your on your radar? I know you're just a sophomore now, but
I haven't thought it through much, but I definitely want to play in college. I might want to go to some school in California, but I definitely want to play soccer, even if that means walking on.
How is this different for you guys? Because we kind of talked about this a little bit off camera, but on the girls' side, here you have a program in-state that's actually pretty successful this year, right, UNM, but you don't have that same option, right? So your goals and thoughts have to be a lot different than maybe anyone on the girls' side, right? So let's start with you. You don't have that boys' program in-state to think about, right? So that's a little different. Talk about that.
Well, that just means you have to show out at ID camps and stuff like that, and you have to really prove to college coaches that you can play at the next level. And you have no backup to rely on New Mexico that have scouted you throughout college or throughout high school.
Right.
So you get one chance with a scout maybe, and you just have to take that opportunity.
And those camps, I mean, what are those camps like?
They're extreme. They're high. There's a ton of great players there, so you definitely have to be at your best game.
On the girls' side, obviously there is UNM here, right? But you're thinking about out of state, but it's got to change your mindset a little bit, right? Because UNM has to start on your radar as a young girl, at least, right?
Yeah, UNM's a great school to play at. I love the coaches, especially Coach Mick. She was actually my ODP coach. And it's really nice to have them come watch some of the Hope games. I just think I want to play out of state, and that's a lot more difficult because you have to, like Luke said, show up at ID camps, show up at tournaments so that they really see you and want you.
What about this whole club notion? I want to talk about club a little. Well, what I want to talk about is this United Academy is what I really want to talk about, okay? And so there's some high school programs that have a real problem with this because they seem to think that this United Academy almost takes a focus away from high school soccer, right? Do you guys have an opinion on that one way or the other?
No, I just think I like the United Academy. I think it's good, but it's also I don't really have a good opinion on that.
What about you, Anna? I mean, what are your thoughts on that there?
I think club definitely takes a lot away from high school, and I think that high school is necessary for kids because it's just such a good builder, and it's super fun, and so it builds confidence. But I think club is also necessary because you need to realize this is really this is really competitive. This is what you're going up against for outside of high school.
And we're all international soccer fans, like we talked about earlier. So isn't that really the big difference in the United States, right? There's your high school soccer, you got some college soccer, right? Whereas internationally, it is all about club, right? And you really got to have some money to play, right, internationally. But obviously the international product is, fair to say, a lot better than the American product.
Yes.
So, just compare, what are the differences there as a player?
I think in America there's a lot more focus on academics versus sports, and I think in Europe there's a lot of like, okay, if you want to play soccer and you're playing at a high level, your thought is to go pro. Like, that is your thought. And I think it's a little different here. We have more of like, okay, you can play in college, but you don't have to play pro. But I feel like if you play at that next level in Europe, they're like, okay, you need to play pro from here.
So, Luke, is the goal to try to play club and try to have that path to the pros, or is the goal for a young man still to play for your high school team, play for a college, and then see what happens after that? I mean, what's the goal as an American male?
Well, I think the goal is still to find a college and go there, because you, at least if you don't succeed in your soccer, you still have academics to rely on.
Right. But now, Anna, from your instance, 21 games, 52 goals. If that happened in Europe, you'd be in some academy somewhere, right? You wouldn't be on any campus.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right? Is internationally, it's so serious, they would have you stashed away at some Barcelona academy by now, right?
Yeah, I
Pretty
guess.
much. Yeah. So I mean, those are the differences, and they're interesting. I did want to highlight those. We're running out of time, so we want to look at some more highlights here of the rest of your season this year. So let's take a look at that, Anna.
Babinski here. She's going to make a move on it. Taking a shot.
Oh!
She scores.
Wow!
Excellent goal by Babinski.
Man, she's rewarded for her perseverance.
That was.
And here's an opportunity. Babinski starts this off in style. As Ava Suarez is running down that. This one being centered. Babinski again! There's a hat trick!
Now, this is dangerous here as Lewandowski on the right side trying to get it to Babinski, the right foot, and it's in! A goal for Anna Babinski. It's her 48th of the season. On the season, the junior. Cates gets it forward to Babinski, looking for more. Babinski, the left foot. Yes! Make it an early brace. Both of them in the 10th minute for Anna Babinski. Just could not clear it. Now a one-on-one chance for Babinski. She's going one-on-one against Hatch. She's got the speed to beat Hatch. She's past Hatch. Now she has to beat the keeper. A second effort on the tap, a third effort, and it's in. It's a hat trick for Babinski. What great work by Anna Babinski for her third goal of the half. It comes in the 31st minute. The hat trick gets her to 50 goals on the season. It falls to Babinski against two defenders. Babinski trying to create some space. She cuts back up with the left. She shoots and scores. What a play by Anna Babinski. Wow. Well, 52 goals. It's going to be tough to top that next season. You already got a couple of state championships. It's going to be tough to keep adding to that. Thank you guys very much for coming in. This was a lot of fun. And good luck the rest of the way. And thank you for watching, everybody, and good night.